No one 12 months ago was talking about a global financial crisis. Now everybody is talking about a global financial crisis.
How do you cover an economic crisis as deep and confusing as... Nobody seems to know what's going on in the world. Nobody seems to know. Nobody has a crystal ball.
And if there have been any lessons learned, Mr. Speaker, over the last 30 years in Australia, it is the government should not be involved in banking.
Australia is currently enjoying the strongest global economy in over 30 years and a massive mining boom, which is filling the government's coffers.
An unprecedented $42 billion nation-building and jobs plan to support jobs and to invest in Australia's long-term economic future.
No one 12 months ago was talking about a global financial crisis.
On the 25th of July, 2007, I warned that we were at the beginning of a countdown for a collapse of the world monetary financial system. This occurs at a time where the world monetary financial system is actually now currently in the process of disintegrating. Nothing mysterious about this. I've talked about it for some time. It's been in progress. It's not abating. What's listed as stock values and market values in the financial markets internationally is bunk. These are purely fictitious beliefs. There's no truth to it. The fakery is enormous. There is no possibility of a non-collapse of the present financial system. None. It's finished now. The present financial system cannot continue to exist under any circumstances, under any presidency, under any leadership, or any leadership of nations. Only a fundamental and sudden change in the world monetary financial system will prevent a general, immediate, chain reaction type of collapse. At what speed, we don't know, but it will go on, and it will be unstoppable. And the longer it goes on, before coming to an end, the worse things will get.
July 25, 2007 was certainly not the first time American economist Lyndon LaRouche had warned of the collapse of the world economy. Yet today's politicians, economists, bankers, media pundits and similar illiterates are lying their heads off telling us that no one could have foreseen this crisis. The current economic crisis is the worst collapse in all human history, which if continued will be far worse than even the 14th century Dark Age, which killed 1/3 of Europe's population through starvation and disease. Today's economic collapse is not a mere monetary problem, but a breakdown of the world's real physical economy. The world's population of 6.7 billion people is right now under threat, and could plunge to less than 2 billion people in very short order. Nations as we know them today under these failing economic and social conditions will cease to exist as entire regions of the world descend into conflict and chaos. In the 14th century, under feudalism, there were no such things as nation-states. Society was controlled by a private group of international bankers based in Venice, who ran a privately controlled international monetary system. The Venetian system was based, like that of today, upon usury and speculation, and like today, it was a system that attacked human civilization and human populations. In modern times, the British Empire, an identical and direct descendant of that Venetian system, has continued to control the international monetary system since its establishment following the worldwide 7 Years' War of 1756 to 1763. This empire, an international empire of finance, evolved from the 18th century British Empire of armies and gunboats. The failure to eliminate the British Empire following World War II has brought us to this crisis today. Around the world, American economist and statesman Lyndon LaRouche together with the Citizens Electoral Council and LaRouche Youth Movement in Australia, have been leading the fight to protect the population from this financial collapse through reorganisation in bankruptcy. On the other hand, the world's financial oligarchy based in the City of London insists that we just bail out the current system and shut up about the causes of the crisis. LaRouche has already drafted legislation which will provide a solution, which will halt the collapse of the real economy and kickstart the recovery. That policy is his Homeowners and Bank Protection Act, in Australia known as his Homeowners and Bank Protection Bill. This presentation will elaborate on the method behind this urgent policy and explain why it is that all other so-called solutions by economists, politicians and the like today are doomed to fail. The failure to halt the economic collapse with bailouts and stimulus packages put forward by the multitude of economic illiterates gives us good reason to ask ourselves the important question: can we really trust those who gave us the economic disease to now provide us with the cure? LaRouche's unmatched accuracy in all of his economic forecasts over the last 50 years has been a result of the unique scientific method he used to make those forecasts. It is a method rooted in the science of physical economy.
LaRouche's physical economy has to do with physical values, which these days is quite unusual because everyone who so-called economists talk about monetary and financial values. But LaRouche's physical economy is concerned about things like real physical production, manufacturing, farming, what's the state of our infrastructure, what's the state of our healthcare system, how are we educating our kids, how much money are we putting into educating our population in general.
LaRouche discovered, through his early scientific work studying the 17th and 19th century physicists Gottfried Leibniz and Bernhard Riemann, that what lay at the heart of economy was the ability for human beings to transform their potential in the universe without limits. At the core of LaRouche's economic method lay the science of human creativity and its power to change the physical world.
Because we have creative reason, we can make discoveries of how the universe works. For example, there are physical principles in the universe which are unseen by the senses, but because we are endowed with this creativity, we can make discoveries of these physical principles, take those discoveries, and through science and technology then apply them to the productive processes involved in manufacturing and other forms of production. This then has the ability of increasing the productive output of mankind, and LaRouche refers to that as the productive powers of labour.